Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Jenny and I'm going to show you how I took one Cricut Design Space window and made it 7 different designs. Not a window, a door, sorry. So 7 doors with one design. Here I'm just moving and rearranging to get as much real estate out of my paper as possible. And this is me showing you a picture of all the cutouts, because I cut them all out, cut extras just in case, because I had a thought in my head if it wasn't going to work, I would cut this, and yeah. And then I cut them all in white. Well, 5 of them. I cut 2 of them in the suggested colors. And then to change the colors and get it to my desired color that I wanted to turn it into, I just used my distress pads. Here you can see where I colored in the window. I put the, what do you call that? The step, molding, whatever it's called. I put that on. I'm assembling how it goes. The tedious little teeny tiny doorknobs. Oh my gosh, you gotta have tweezers to do this. Tweezers were my best friend during this project. I just use glue, wet glue, to glue everything down when I assembled the door. And then for the embellishments on the outside, I used foam tape or sticky dots just to give it a little dimension and make it, a little more 3D effect. The molding on the door, again, tweezers. So much easier to do little tiny pieces with tweezers. It was a fun project to do, but very time consuming with all the little teeny tiny pieces. Once I had the system down to build the doors, I pretty much knew exactly what I was doing after laying them on there, laying it out, and figuring out how I wanted each door to look. The hardest was getting the design, or what I wanted to do to make it look different from the others. I think cutting the windows out was probably the longest, because I didn't really know if it was going to work, and I just had to play around with it. It took me 2 days to do this project. I cut out all the shapes in 1 day and, played around with the original color scheme that the project came with. And then after that, the next day, it took almost a whole day to do it. And I used the walnut stain to do that wooden door. And I was going to keep the frames white, but in the end, it looked better with the walnut stain around the frame. And I cut the window off the top to make it look more like country-ish and not so fancy, I guess you would say, with the window on top. Here's Cricut Design Space with me sizing the images that I want to use. Okay, so I'm going to go over what I did to make these 7 different ways. So the first 2 I cut out in the suggested colors on Cricut. And so I had to cut a brown, a yellow, and then this part was white, the door was red, this was black, and then like a gold or a silver, and then this was brown. So I did these 2 the exact same. What I did different was I just put different decorations on it, and then I'll show you what I did there to make that look like almost like a stained glass. And then the rest of them, these 5, I just cut out in white. And to change the color, I used my oxides, my distress oxides. So for the first one, I did the scorched timber, and I just, went over it and tried to make it look as much like the scorched timber as possible. For the door, because this is what the door is supposed to look like, with the cutout that I got, it had just this piece right here. Sorry, should have had this ready. But this is the door, and this goes over it to make it look like it's got panels. And what I did, because this one is different, is I actually cut out 2 sections, like this section here, and made that the big window. And then I took the little pieces that come out, I took the smaller ones, I took 4 of them and put them down at the bottom. And so that made the panels at the bottom. And I thought, yeah, that will work great. Like, I played around with it before I glued them on and stuff. And then, and I did the same thing to this door here. So these two have the same big windows, because it worked. And I was like, oh, great, I love it. And then for the window here, I put it behind this piece that I had cut out, and then glued it, cut around it, and that's how that goes. So I used a die cut to get the spider web in there. This is a sequin from a sequin mix. This is a sequin. This is a sticker. This I used a design in Cricut Design Space, and I shrunk it down, and then I put a square image in the back of it, turned the square image white, and I welded it so that when I did the print and cut, it just cut out the square. And then I just used the foam tape. I think it was the smaller one. I used the foam tape on the back to give it dimension and make it look like one of the welcome signs that you see on a regular door. And then for this one, I did the same thing with the scorched timber. I used scattered straw just in the top part and the window part. And then for the lace curtain, I used this. And white just didn't show up really that good, so I used a little pink on my finger of the Kitsch Flamingo. And I got a little bit on there, but it's okay. It still works. And then I did the same thing with the door sign. And this is a bicycle that I got in a sticker pack. So if you don't have Design Space and you have like a die, you can still do this and just cut out your shapes of your doors or your windows or whatever. And if you want to do these, by all means, go through your sticker stash. So I got these in a Happy Mail Wish, and I wanted plants anyway. So I sifted through them and I found the one that I wanted, and I got this bicycle out of one. I got this out of one. I got this out of one. Yeah, so I got 1, 2, 3 out of my stickers. And then these two, I did the print and cut, print and cut, print and cut. Oh, and this was a sticker, and this was a sticker out of that pack. But the print and cut through Cricut, I just took the design, shrunk it down, put a shape behind it, welded it, flattened it, and then did the print and cut. The rest are stickers. Or like this little gnome, I fussy cut out of a sheet of paper. So check your paper stash, get a small image. This jack-o'-lantern is a button from a button pack. To do the doors on these two, I used my 3D, what do you call this thing? Embossing folder. Ran it through there and they look like wooden doors. And then for the tops of these, because they're different, all I did was take my scissors and cut the top off. See? It would have been the exact same design as the other ones, but I wanted two different, so I just cut those off. The boots, that was a Cricut Design Space, Cricut Design Space. This came with the original plan, and I cut extras out, which I don't know if I'm going to make another door, because these were very time consuming. The decorated part was what was the hardest, but. And then for this one, I chose Uncharted Marinere for the color blue on this one. You can kind of see where I used the scattered straw and then the wild honey, because it's got like more of a brighter yellow here, kind of a darker orange color there. Kind of think it looked more like a lighting inside of a window. And then to get the stained glass look, I did it here, and then I did it also on here. And what I used to do that was misprinted vellum. So I was working on a project and I tried to print on vellum and it did not work. So what I did is I took my door, put this over it, glued it down, and then cut around just that window part. Or like for this one. And then for that, I just, you know, same thing, put it over and cut it out. And it worked. So I save everything. And what else? This is a sticker from a sticker pack. This was a sticker and I put it on a toothpick, and then I hot glued a little pearl at the top. This I just put a little bow on there. These are sequins. But yeah, if you don't have Cricut Design Space and you want something like a welcome or whatever, there's so many things you can do. Oh my gosh. So, just for an idea, you could put beads as a welcome. Look in your bead stash. Look in your papers. Get your images from your papers. Get stickers. Get buttons. Get sequins. Get whatever you have when you want to try and make something tiny. Just look outside the box. What is it actually meant for? Does not mean that's what you have to use it for. Anyway, I hope you like this. I hope you give me a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to my channel. And thanks for watching. Hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.